Mysterious stories of my life. This is about the time I was actually gonna go and do a dance performance, but how I felt after it was just something different to me. And it was hard at first, but it turned out to be, a good feeling. I started learning much more about other things. But this is how the day went. So basically, one night, I was at my house just watching some like Disney Channel on TV, and I know in my head like, I'm gonna have my first dance performance at nighttime at a community college. And so, thing is, when I was gonna get ready for it, I was kind of nervous because like I know I missed a few moves or I forgot like some of the moves that are gonna be part of the performance. So, I practiced at least like a few times so I can get it down. And luckily, I actually got it. But, the reason why I was still nervous is because I was doing it in front of like other people because it was like at a theater. And, at that time, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I was waiting for my Aunt Maria to come and pick me up, but she was getting off work late. And so when I was like right when I was already ready actually, and I was just like falling asleep watching TV, she actually knocks on the door really loudly, and she says like, Isaiah, like open the door. And so I open the door and she's like, come on, we gotta go. You're gonna be late for your dance performance. I was like, oh yeah, she's right. And so I get my shoes on. I walk out the door with her. We walk to her car. And as we are driving towards there to my performance, I kind of noticed something was off. So the thing is, like, she was kind of having a bit of a bad day because I could tell by the way she was talking to me about how her day went at work. And, she's a nurse and, she has her ups and downs each day. But as long as we were going though, and she's talking about her day and she's not really in a good mood, she was just like, talking to me about like, how important school is and that you have to be realistic with what you want to do with your life. And I told her like, my passion is dancing, but right after I just said that one sentence, she just like went off on me. She said like, come on, Isaiah, like you can't just choose dancing as a job. Like, you gotta focus on school. You gotta keep your grades good. You gotta do something else. Like, I don't think that's the right dream for you. And to me at the moment, right when she said that, that really hit me hard. And I started busting out, like crying like crazy. And she makes it worse by just yelling at me saying like, Isaiah, like, I'm sorry, but I have to tell you that I don't think you can do that at all. Like, this is not something that's going to be what you call your official, dream. Just being a dancer, going around and, just making a living out of it. I just don't think that's right. So, as we're going to the performance, the thing is, since she didn't really support my whole dancing thing, she didn't even, decide to watch my performance. And so right as I'm getting ready to do my act of dancing, I go ahead and I start dancing, but the thing is I lost confidence in myself. And when I'm performing, I kind of notice like when I'm dancing, I'm kind of getting off the beat. I'm doing the wrong moves, and everybody is just giving me this funny look while I'm dancing on stage. And then the other people on the stage that are dancing with me, like they're just smiling at them. And I knew something was up, and it just wasn't like a good feel for me. Like, I just felt so down. And, after the performance is done, we walk outside of what you call onto the campus. And as we're walking outside the campus, I see these other people that perform with me. Like, they see their parents and all that. They're getting compliments about how they did on the stage. And everyone's looking at me like, with like just mad eyes. And when they gave me that, it made me even feel even more worse about myself as a dancer. So I'm thinking to myself, man, like, I really shouldn't have not even started dancing on stage. Like, why did I even come here in the first place if somebody that I love and care about doesn't even, show up to show support or to show me that, they care about what good thing I am doing, for myself to express how I am as a person. And so just like going through that night, I felt sad. I just like, I stepped on like a bench and I sat down on it alone, and everybody was just getting some love and hugs and saying like, I appreciate, like, to their own kids, like, I appreciate what you do, and no matter what you want to do in your life, go for it and don't ever hold back. And so as I'm on the bench, actually, I just call my mom. I call my Auntie Maria to, come and pick me up. And so she's on her way to pick me up. And so then, as it goes, she's picking me up, and then she just asks me how the performance was. And I didn't want to express my feelings, and I knew I felt sad. So I just gave her a smile and just said, like, it went well, and, people loved it. And that was pretty much all I said. And as we're going, we just go to the house, and I'm not gonna lie, but it was dead silent. Like, not a word, like, nothing. So I was like, man, this is like, I don't know what just happened, but I think something, like, in my heart is trying to tell something to me, like my feelings and my emotion. So, I just go home and I just, I celebrate myself by just eating some vanilla and chocolate ice cream mixed together. And I'm not gonna lie, it was really, really good. I loved it. I was just licking my lips. I was just loving the smell of the ice cream too. And so after I ate the ice cream, and I actually just got done like just watching a movie too, and it was an action-packed movie. It was about like secret agents and all that. And after I got done, I just went to bed. But after the night too, I did still cry a little bit because of like what I was told and how, how it went and how I felt. Like, at that moment, I'm not gonna lie, I just felt disappointed in myself a little bit. Like, I felt a little disappointed, but then at the same time, I felt proud for me at least getting on the stage and showing my talent, having the guts to do it. And so after sleeping through the night, I wake up back up in the morning, and I'm just evaluating what just happened. I'm processing what happened like yesterday, And so after I process it, I discovered this, and this is also the moral of the story. So the moral of the story is like, no matter what, even if you have a dream and you believe in it and you want to achieve it with all your strength and heart, just know that sometimes the people that you love and care about, the people that you are most close to, are not going to support you. Sometimes they won't believe in you. And that's okay. The only thing that matters is that you believe in it. Because you are the one that controls your life, your destiny, and you control what you can get out of any situation that you come across. Don't let nobody tell you any different. And I know it's hard to go for something that you love when somebody doesn't support it and they just give you such negative thoughts to bring you down. But no, if you want to get true happiness in your life and feel like you have victory every day in your life, go for something that you love and that you want to accomplish as your dream, because that's what makes you who you are. And that's it. And I want you guys to have a good day and remember that down deep in your heart. Mysterious Stories of My Life, episode 2. So this is going to be about how I lost my best friend Noah 11 one day. And I'm not gonna lie to you. So here we go. This is how the day went. So basically, I was just chilling at my dad's house in Orange County, California. And the thing is, I figured, like, I got off the couch and I was like thinking to myself, like, you know what? I want to see how my friend Noah 11 is doing, because he's texting me saying that he's having a bad day. So I decided to be a good friend and go over to his house. I actually just skateboarded there, and it was pretty much a fun, like skateboard ride down to his house. And as I'm going there, we're just watching TV, but we're just watching like cooking shows, because I know he likes cooking, and I know he likes to taste like all kinds of different foods, and he likes to learn about what food can be together and what cannot be together, so that it can taste good to somebody that's like actually eating the food dish. And so as the day goes by, when we're just watching TV shows, he started talking to me about his girlfriend Rachel. And this girlfriend Rachel, I've kind of noticed how she's actually like a bad influencer on him, because he's making him feel different, about himself, but in then like negative ways, where he sees himself being like a terrible person. But somehow, even though he feels that way, he still is in love with Rachel. And I totally have to respect that, like when you really love somebody, it's kind of hard for you to kind of like just detach yourself from that person. So as that is going on, at nighttime, it was at 7 o'clock. His girlfriend Rachel was calling him and telling him, like, hey, like, me and you, we need to talk, we need to sort things out, because I don't like how you are acting towards me, or I don't like how you don't give me what I want from you. Like, you don't give me any chocolate or like any like comfort to like cool me down when I'm upset. So as that's going on, he actually just had caught like is actually gonna talk to her and stuff like that. And then he hangs up the phone because like Rachel started raising his voice against him. And he straight up looks at me and he's telling me like, what should I do about my girlfriend? Like, I don't really know how to feel about her. And so this is what I do, because I'm gonna be a good friend and tell him the straight up truth. And so I told him, like, I feel like she's gonna be a negative like person around you, gonna be super toxic, is gonna make you do things that isn't good for you. And when I mean that isn't good for you is like, like get his money spent all on her, and then he's broke, and then he's just starving himself, for a few days. And it's also another thing too, it's just gonna make him think like, oh, he's a bad person, he doesn't deserve to get some ice cream or go to the gym, not without me, I need to be there. Like, I just don't think he deserves to give himself some time to look at himself in a positive way. like, oh, like I'm great, like I can do this and that because I have the power. And since I told him that, he literally did not listen to what a word I said, and he actually picked up the phone and said, like, you know what, we are going to talk to each other and you can pick me up. And so he puts the phone down after when he says bye to her, and he runs out of his house real quick and goes in the car. And as he goes in the car, they just leave the house and they're just talking to each other by going kind of like on a night car cruise. And when it's actually happening, he calls me on my own phone, and that's when I knew, like, something was up, like something's going to go down. So how it goes down is, like, he calls me and I answer, and then his girlfriend Rachel is just screaming at me saying, like, why would you say this and that? And then I tell her straight up, like, it's because, like, it's the truth, and I don't think you should be going out with Noah because you're making him doubt himself, you're making him, hurt himself, and you are also turning him against people that love and care about him, just like me. And so she just goes on a whole tangent and then starts yelling at me, and all of a sudden she just hangs up the phone. But then she calls me again. She's like, you know what, Noah 11 is not going to be your friend anymore. And then you know what actually broke my heart? He grabs the phone, he's like, I agree with her, and I'm not going to talk to you, so you better leave my house. And then he hangs up the phone, and then, me, I felt so sad. Like, I was like, man, like, I literally just lost my best friend after watching out for him to, like, so that he can separate himself from her and just be the person that he is, that I know he truly is as a good guy. But so, you know what? I leave the house and I'm skateboarding. It's like dark at night. It's like 10 o'clock at night. I'm going back to my dad's house, So as I'm skateboarding down, I'm just crying, just not in a good mood, like, and just saying, like, what did I do to deserve this? And so as I keep that thought in my mind, I go to the house and I tell my dad what's going on. And so my dad tells me this: I'm sorry, but I am going to tell you that you can't make everybody happy. You cannot be everybody's friend. Like, what he decided to do for himself, that's on him, not on you. This is not your fault. He should have not done that to you. So, I sleep through that and I'm still feeling bad. Like, I feel so heartbroken because I just lost a good friend to me at the time. And so, actually, for some weird reason, like, I got back up, and right when I go get some, like, some Arizona, like, sweet tea, I started feeling good for some reason. I was like, man, what is this feeling? And so, and then I turn on the TV, and it was about forgiving people. And I started being happy. I started, like, jumping up and down. And it's because I started learning something, I don't remember what the show was, but it was about forgiving people. And actually, leading to that, this is going to be like the moral of the story. So the moral of the story is, like, there are times where where you have to forgive people for what they've done. And what I mean by forgiving people is, like, you have to let people go and just put that pain away from you. The reason why I say that to you is because if you truly want to be happy down deep in your heart, you have to forgive people. And if you have pain that you're suffering from because you're mad at somebody or you have a grudge against somebody, then, you know, that pain that you have, it can go away if you just forgive them. But another point I want to make is that if you want to receive different things that come in your way of living your life, if you want to receive like rewards, different friendships, like love relationships, you have to learn how to forgive people. It's because it helps you move forward. It helps you receive the things that you want later on in your life. I mean it. Like, forgiving is a way of moving forward, taking on what's next, and kind of just seeing the light through the darkness. And man, once I saw that TV show, I was like, man, my life is gonna get easier, and it's gonna be so amazing if I forgive people for the things that they've done to me that I don't like at all. And trust me, you're gonna grow into such an amazing person. It's gonna be beautiful in so many different ways. And I don't want you to forget that. So keep that in mind and have a wonderful day. Mysterious Stories of My Life, episode 3. And today is going to be about how I wasn't confident in passing this assignment, which was a bigger portion of my grade in my drama class in high school. And it's probably when I was in 10th grade because that was the time I was doing that assignment. But so here's how it goes. So basically, this assignment, our teacher assigned it. So what we had to do is we had to create a character ourselves, but we had to make the character realistic and perform it on stage and show what the character is like by acting it out so that people but know who the character is and how it can come to life and how it can be real when you act it out. And so this was kind of like an assignment, but it had to be finished in a week because the assignment was given to me on Monday, but the assignment was due on Friday. So here's the thing though, I created a good character, but the only problem that was holding me back is that I didn't believe in myself because I just didn't have confidence, and you do want to keep in mind though that this is my first time taking a drama class. So that's why, if you're trying something new, you don't just come out and be a pro at it. That's just not how it works. That's for anything in life, basically. But so I created an Indian character. I gave the name Nadeem. I'm not trying to, be stereotypical on that because that's not how I am. But, it's a character created from India. He's just like this guy that's like really funny. He's talented. He likes to make people smile. Like, he's just a good type of character. But he has a thick Indian accent. So that's what I was going to perform when I created the character, basically. And I'm not gonna lie, it was a really great character, So here's the thing, over the week though, of the time, I had to work on it after school each day until Friday. And I was performing it to other people because we had to perform it to other people instead of just the teacher on Friday so that we could, make it better. So they give us criticism and they teach us how to just make the character better. Like, what can you improve on? Or, what is your weakness? Like, what needs to change, basically. And I was okay with it. But here's the thing, though. There are times where you can be taking people's advice, but still don't feel really confident in it. And we all have those times. We can doubt ourselves, basically. So I'm doing it, and it's going well. Like, I'm feeling good. But as time went by, as it got closer to the presentation day, my confidence went low because I still feel really nervous. And I want to ace that assignment because it was like a big portion of my grade in the class. I wanted an A plus. I wanted to just, hit it over the top, basically. So, I'm watching other people, do their characters, and that's making me even more nervous because like I'm thinking of things like competition, but like, it's, you can't think of it like that. You kind of have to think about yourself because, it's just a personal grade. It's not a grade for the whole class. That's not how it worked. So I'm actually watching this other person. I forgot her name, but she was a female, and the character that she created was like a ballet dancer. And it was a great character because to me, this is just the way she portrayed it. She was dancing, her accent for being Russian, it was on point. Not only that, but it was really funny. Like, it's engaging. It's like, wow, like this is what the character is. Like, it felt real because of the way she just worked it and put effort into it. And I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, like maybe I do gotta work harder and I have to just, I gotta push it and just, just do what I can do best, And man, I still was so nervous because it's my first time ever just performing on stage, just in front of people, basically. And so, here it comes on Friday is when the real performances come. I'm not the first person. I'll be honest, I'm the last person. And I'm looking at everybody performing, and my face is just like, man, I didn't even think about that. Like, seriously, like, I could have added that to my character. Like, my face is just like, wow. Like, and that's not a good sign at all. So then when it comes to my time to perform, I go ahead and perform. But when I perform, I get nervous, I'm shaking, but then it gets awkward because there's that silence and I'm not saying the lines that I said for myself. And keep in mind, I am being timed for 5 minutes because it has to be 5 minutes exactly. So 2 minutes, so quiet. I'm just walking around the stage and the drama teacher's just looking at me like, what is this person doing? This is not gonna work out. Like, what? Oof. And then the next minutes up until 5 minutes come, I'm doing stuff, but it just sounds very random. And then my character, it doesn't seem like I'm playing a character. It seems like I'm just being me. And, after the performance, I didn't feel good about it because I didn't do too well. Like, I failed that assignment. And another thing too, I was just like, man, like, should I just stop with this class? And I said, no, I can't stop. You gotta finish until the end, like that's the positive mindset. And my teacher just like came up to me after I was done performance. He was like, why didn't you do your character well? Why didn't you perform it well? Like, I had so much confidence in you and you're such a good student. You're always on top of everything in this class. And I just told her, like, I just didn't have confidence in myself to, like, perform well on the stage. And she was like, in life, just know that there's no safe place in life. Like, you always have to take a risk in what you want to get and what you want to do and shoot for. Because the thing is, sometimes when you take the risk in your lives to go for something, you might actually get it. But most importantly, it changes your life. And that right there is the moral of the story. It's like, there's no safe place in life. You have to go after it, even though you're not confident in it. And that's all I want to say. And have a good day. Mysterious Stories of My Life, episode 4. And today I'm going to be talking about who my hero is. And so it goes off like this, basically. I'm going to be honest with you. my hero is me. But it's going to be that hero in 10 years, in 20 years. Like, I always try to set goals for myself, basically, to be who I want to be. Okay, and off first, even though I said that, I try to be like other people so that, I can see me be a better version of myself or be the best person that can be out there in the world. Like, at first, when people talked about, who is your hero? Like, who do you look up to, basically? And, I said, J. Cole, I say Robert De Niro, I say, Denzel Washington, I say, you know what, Matthew McConaughey. Like, I say people like that, and I try to be like them. But you know what? That failed. You know why? It's because you cannot be like anybody else but you, because you're not them. You don't see what they're thinking. You don't see when they're going to make a move on anything. You're not them. There's only one of you, basically. And, when I was thinking like that, I would go and watch TV and I would see like these, cool action movies, basically. And I'll try to imitate it. And so what I would do is that I would go to school and, I actually tried to impress somebody. I wasn't thinking too well, but it was like, in middle school? And I tried to get a girlfriend, and getting a girlfriend in middle school, like, what is that, basically? And, one time I remember this kid was trying to mess with me in middle school. And I can't remember the name, but the thing is, we both liked the same girl, and we were just having a competition on who can get that girl. But the thing is, he was the bully. I was the good guy in that story. So one time he tried to impress that girl by beating me up. And I said, hold up, no. We're going to have to switch this up. So when the fight began, I actually beat up the dude, luckily. And I didn't get the girl because it turns out the girl didn't really like me back. And I was okay with that. At least I stood up for myself and found out the answer for what it truly is. And I was still happy, being single. But the point is that, being somebody else that I saw on TV, even though it didn't work out, I was like, man, I just learned something. You can't be like them. You have to improve yourself and be you. So, from this point on until the day, which is the present moment, I look at myself as a hero to myself because, I can always, get close to that person. But not only that, I love myself and I have peace in my life because I see myself as a hero. And not only that, but man, when I'm trying to just work on myself or just try to, I would say, get out there and just, be me, I'm actually seeing myself at a whole nother level. And man, I can tell you that it's the best thing I ever seen in a human being. But see, here's the thing, even though that I make goals and I make characteristics that I want to become in those 10 years, I can never be close to that person. But I can tell you, at least I'm chasing something that is a hero and somebody that keeps me guided in the right path, And that's why I think that everybody, that's living out there should look at themselves and say, hey, the hero that I want to be is me in 10 years. Because that is where it's going to make you move forward in your life. And it's amazing. And don't let anybody take away who you are. They can't. You're the only person that limits yourself. Just know that. And that is the moral of the story. And have a good day. Mysterious Stories of My Life, episode 5. And today it's going to be about how Robert changed my point of view on being positive in my life. So here's how it goes. I'm not going to lie. It's just that, one day when I got out of the house with my family and I was just walking in the mall, I was chilling and I was just going shopping for some clothes just for, school and stuff like that because my closet was pretty small on clothing. So as I'm shopping at a store for, a nice fresh shirt, my friend Robert calls me and he's told me something that was very drastic. Like my heart dropped. He told me that both of his parents died in a car accident and I didn't know how to react to it, but I wanted to be there for him because that must have been really hard, because he had good loving parents, for himself. And I'm not gonna lie, after that, I was done shopping and stuff, I called him again to just check up on him, but he didn't answer. So what came into mind is that I had to, let him breathe. I had to let him process it because that's something very dramatic, That's not something you can just wipe off your shoulder. Like, no, that's something tragic. So, as, the days go by and when, school comes back on, starting on Monday, he's not doing too hot. He's looking really sad. He's not really talking to everybody. And, all his friends are asking him, like, is he okay or whatsoever? And the thing is, he's not. And his grade, it started slipping as time went by. And I kind of thought to myself, how's he ever going to get over something like that? Because I can't do it myself. And most importantly, he lost loved ones. But, I started seeing a change when his grades started getting back up. He started to just smile. And to me, I didn't know how to react to that because if something like that were to ever happen to me, I don't know if I could ever find a way to being happy ever again, because it's just that that's not something you can just have peace with. But he showed me something different, and to me it was a blessing. Also another thing too, it's not just his just his parents dying, it's also just other people in school. They were just picking on him. They were being cruel to him when that event was going on. So then one day, I saw him smile. He was trying to make peace with it. And he was trying to fight those negative emotions within him. And I think one time when a kid was just messing with him during lunchtime, he decided to go and stand up for himself. And not only did he did that, but he pantsed him. He pulled his pants down, and the dude got embarrassed because everyone saw him wearing just embarrassing red underwear, basically. And he felt good about it because he was I don't need this. I'm dealing with too much right now. So I'm standing up for myself. That's a good thing. And I was just laughing, and I was just happy to see him, smile. And then, as school was over on that same exact day, he told me this. Sometimes, you might have a hard time in life, but at the hard times, you just got to give it a smile because, you can't be dwelling on what happened to you in the past or on the things that give you pain. You have to, so that you can get through it. And so, but that's the moral of the story. Smile at the hard times. And what I mean by that is, you know, think positive. Know that, you know, life is not perfect. You're going to have terrible moments in your life, but you got to learn to get over with by being positive about it. And just not only that, but come into peace with it, and just know that you got to continue life no matter what happens to you. So that's all I have to say. And you guys have a good one. Mysterious Stories of My Life, episode 6. Now today is going to be about how I found the power to be independent. Now let me tell you a story. I had a friend named Dante. I had him when I was new to like this whole new high school. It was like a rich high school, and I was just trying to find people that I could relate to, you know, and just like talk to and be able to, you know, enjoy the high school experience, you know, for myself. And the first person that I ran into, he was in my English class. My first period was Dante, and throughout the journey, at first, it was so good, but in the middle of the end, that's when things just did not go good at all. But let's get into it. So, you know, I'm new, and he's actually, he's been there for like a long time, and he knows everybody at that school because he went to middle school with them too, and elementary too. But at first, you know, since I was like a new person, I was like, hey, like, you know, let me talk to this person, because like, you know, he seemed like a pretty good guy, and he was excelling well in like academics, and he was just like cool with everybody, you know. And so as I'm talking to the person, you know, he invites me to a party, but you know, it was for his birthday, and I enjoyed it, and I was talking to the guy because like we had a lot of things in common. But the people that were around him, though, I kind of questioned that. I was like, you know, who are these people? Because, like, sometimes there'll be a good influence, and sometimes there'll be a terrible influence on him. So I was like, oh, okay, then. Like, I want to see how this goes, because, you know, I'm just new to this school. I got to explore for myself on, like, what these people are. So, you know, as it goes, like, I would say, and this is all during the first semester. And, you know, in the middle of the semester, things don't go good at all, because, like, I hear rumors about him, like, talking smack about me. And I go and confront him, and I said, why would you say this and that? And he acts like he's not even talking smack about me at all. And I was like, you know, that's kind of weird. I guess I should just, you know, keep a close eye on him and see, you know, what he's up to. I don't mean like stalk the dude. No. Not none of that creepy stuff. But, you know, just like, you know, be aware of like what he's doing. And as things keep going, one day, you know, I see a group of like kids come up to me and talk to me about what he's doing. But in the process about him talking smack about me, it turns out that he planned to like jump me. So he goes ahead and he starts jumping me, but the only way he starts jumping me is when the kids hit me first. And I didn't even see it coming, because it was kind of like a surprise party of like jumping me. And, you know, I'm feeling all terrible and stuff. I'm feeling pissed because, like, man, like, why would somebody do me dirty like that when I've been, you know, like, you know, good to him? And so, you know, later on, at the end of the semester, you know, I meet some other people, and they were actually good people. They were not people that I've been talking to, but they just started talking to me more and more, and they started being good to me. I was like, man, like, these are the people I truly want to be friends with, you know? But, you know, those people that were talking to me, they were telling me some things about Dante, about how he was a backstabber, And it turns out that even though I was actually friends with the guy, he didn't even like me at all. And you're thinking like, man, that totally makes me feel like, a piece of crap. But it really didn't. And the reason why I say that is because, like, I was mad at first. I was like, why does it have to be me? Why couldn't he just do that to somebody else? I know that sounds selfish, but like, I'd rather him not be doing stuff like that to anybody at all, And, the moral of the lesson is that, not everybody has to like you. The reason why I say that is because, if everybody actually does like you, something is wrong there. The reason why I say that is because I've believed that you would try to agree to anything or believe in something for that other person just because they believe it so that you can feel like you get acceptance of yourself. No, 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 no. You have to stand up for what you believe in and, agree to it. Not because of what that person believes and thinks of you, but because of what you think of yourself. So that means something, right? Yeah, of course. It means something good. You love yourself and you respect yourself. You don't need somebody else to keep thriving well in your life. All you need is yourself and that strong mindset to just keep going. So the thing is, not everybody has to like you, and you can still be yourself even if people don't like you at all. Have a good one. Mysterious Stories of My Life, episode 7. And today this is going to be about me on why I couldn't stay on the water polo team for a personal reason. So, as this is going, I'll tell you this. At the time, I was living in Orange County, California, and I just moved into like this whole new neighborhood, and it was very nice. I wouldn't say anything bad about it. It only just depends on the person, but me, I personally liked it. So, one day I go to the swim pool and I meet all these neighbors, and I meet people that are like my age. They're like teenagers at the time. And they were just talking about sports, but one sport though that they were talking about I did not know about was like water polo. So I was like, wow, that seems like an interesting sport. So I decided to ask the neighbors like some questions about it, and it seemed pretty cool. But just to make sure that what they were saying is right, I decided to do my own research when I got home. And, when I was watching it on my own computer, it seemed really interesting and exciting. I was like, man, maybe I could ask around to see how I can do the sport and, like, join. So the next day, I go to the pool again just to see if they are, about to go out to the pool. And luckily, they went out the next day. I was surprised. And I was like, man, this is my opportunity to ask how I can join it. So I asked one of the people how to join, and then the next thing you notice, they introduced me to a guy that's a coach for a water polo team, but this team was out of league. So I was like, man, I'm gonna go for it. So they got me in contact with the guy, and then the guy seemed pretty cool, and I was like, and it was going well. You can believe me on that. And then he just told me like, okay, if you want to join, I'm going to have to make you audition for the team. It's just one simple thing. Like, the test is, can you swim? And show me that you are capable of swimming. So I was like, man, all right then, I can get this. So they bring us to like a big pool, public pool. But it was at like a gym. I don't remember the name of the gym, but it was. So I start swimming and I show him how incredible of a swimmer I am. And he was like, all right then. Well, welcome, man. You are in the team. I was like, man, this is great. All right then. So he tells me when practice is about to start and what are the times and when I need to make it, and that another thing he said to me is like, okay, this is a sport, but this is not an easy one. This is something you got to work your butt off for. So I was like, all right then, no worries. Like, it was like a breeze, but it wasn't a breeze at all. You can trust me on that. So as I'm going through the practices and everything, I kind of noticed that when he's giving us instructions or when he's trying to push us, he's not really going tough on the other people as much as me. He's going really, really tough on me. I was like, man, why can't you just take it easy on me? I just joined the team, you know? I was like, come on, man. I know I'm not doing this just to be, you know, mean to you or like tell you that you can't do it. I'm doing it just so that you can do well in the sport. I'm trying to teach you something. I want to make you great. I don't want to see you just do average as a person. I was like, man, like, still, like, take it easy on me. And I didn't seem to understand that at all. So, you know, as we're going through the practices, I started to hate it more and more because I'm like, man, like, why does this guy never go easy on me? I just want to be able to enjoy playing the sport too, you know? But he just told me, like, one day he pulled me out of practice. He told me, like, you know I have a whole team, and I know they're playing the sport, but I totally see something different in you. I feel like you can do better than the other guys that I am coaching. I've coached these other kids for, like, more than years, and they're improving, but, like, they're not improving to the standards that I want them to be at. So I was like, okay, I understand that. But I was too stubborn to see that whole point, to clearly understand that. And at the time, I wasn't thick-skinned. I was just sensitive about things when people like criticize me or try to help me to improve in something, you know? So as time goes by, you know, we're in the middle of the season, and we just lost a game that day. We were like, man, like 0 to like, for a whole season. I'm not even gonna say a score, but we were just like 0, like for a whole season. Like, we literally lost like 8 games at the moment. And I was like, man, like, this is not gonna work out at all. So I was like, you know what, forget this. I don't even want to like play this sport at all. Like, it's a waste of my time. I'm not even like improving or even winning at least one game because of how the coach is, you know? But, you know, I got mad at myself. I literally just said, you know, is there something wrong with me? Because I feel like I've been looking at this the wrong way. So as I'm thinking into it more and more and trying to evaluate a lesson that I've missed, I literally figured out that it was me. Like, I didn't have a positive attitude about it. And it got me to think like, man, you know, being sensitive about what people say to you and all that, is that an issue? Man, I figured out, and I was like, it is an issue. Like, being thick-skinned is a way to make it in this world. How can you make it in this world if you take things to the heart too personal? You can't. You know, if you ever want to be successful in something, or you want to get at something in order to fulfill the vision that you have yourself being in, you have to have thick skin. That's how you can handle the criticism. That's how you can handle all this verbal nonsense that is going at you, of what people think about you, or what they say to you, or what they do to you. You know, and what I mean by that is, you got to stop thinking about how people are going to judge you. You really do. I mean, it's all about you at the end. Just because you have a disadvantage in some situation doesn't mean you can't win the battle. You know, that's what you need in life. The one skill. I think this is a must. Being thick-skinned is the answer. And if you're thick-skinned, you don't let anything stop you. You can just keep going. I can promise you that. That's how you're gonna grow. That's how you're gonna make a living. And for people that don't understand that, that's okay. There's time to adapt that skill. Now let me explain it to you on what being thick-skinned means. Being thick-skinned is when you're not easily upset or insulted, but you can handle constructive criticism very well. I can promise you that, and I have that, and I can breathe. But you can be yourself. There's no peaceful life for you if you're not thick-skinned. I tell you that. And you guys remember that. And have a nice day.